everybody, welcome to this week's writing vlog. Right now I'm actually working on a gouache painting that I did of my character Reeve, who's the protagonist of the Fostered series. I feel like I haven't really talked about her on my YouTube in a long time because I haven't written with her in a long time because I haven't really been writing that series, like the main series. I've been working on the spin-off Mothwork for a long time, but Reeve is one of my favorite characters. She's so sassy, she doesn't care what other people think while simultaneously sort of always caring. But she's a badass and she is not afraid to tell you what she truly feels. But for this painting, I basically just printed out a reference photo of Alice Bajani. I didn't feel like sketching it because I just wanted to do a gouache painting and I really didn't feel like taking some time to sketch, so I just traced the reference photo onto some watercolor paper. I used the Reeve's gouache to paint it, which I think is quite fitting because her name is Reeve and I used a Reeve's gouache to paint her. It's not the worst gouache, I like it. I've been doing some gouache paintings with it. I'd love to get a more upgraded set, but for now I will continue to use them because they're not bad. I'm not really too happy with how the painting turned out despite that. I think it was because the reference photo was like this kind of yellow picture. I will pop it on the screen. Beautiful, beautiful picture. The lighting was yellow, and so I was kind of in a dilemma of whether or not I should do like natural skin tone or the yellow skin tone, and at the last minute I sort of did the yellow, so I wasn't too confident in how to do that, and the pose was a little bit difficult for me to like render the face in the way I wanted it. But anyway, that's the painting. Hey everybody, so today's video is going to be a writing vlog, and so I actually took an unexpected hiatus off of writing. If you saw my last writing vlog, you would have seen that I purposefully took a break from writing, but it was only about, I think in real life it was about 2 days, but for some reason it was like 4 days. I don't know, it was a few days. This time it was kind of an unpurposeful break that I'd taken. I wasn't really expecting to take a break, but it's probably been about a week since I really drafted anything. I was enjoying my life in the meantime, doing some other stuff, some art, and just chilling, which was nice to not feel the like anxiety to like need to write. But now I'm feeling like I kind of want to get back into it and make some progress on Feeding Habits, which is book 2 of Mothwork, which is book 6.5 of Fostered. Oh my god. So that is going to be my plan. I'm going to be doing some drafting tonight. It's a bit late. It's like almost 10 p.m. probably, but Sarah and I are probably going to do some writing sprints. I'm kind of struggling with my scene because I need to revise it a little bit just so it fits my emotional vision. So the last time that I did anything for this project was, I don't know, many days ago when Sarah and I were doing a writing sprint, and I didn't really write that much in the writing sprint. Let me find out. It was more like one paragraph that was kind of a big paragraph. Let's see. So I wrote about like 310 words, and it's kind of where the chapter title comes from. Also because I kind of stole that from the font I used to use when I was making these book covers. It's called Wicked Child. And I think that works as the chapter title as well. And so that's kind of what I talk about in the paragraph. But I kind of introduced some emotional threads that I didn't properly explore in the rest of the scene. So I think the scene is feeling a little bit thin, like it's missing a few things right now. So I definitely have to kind of go back and add some things. But I'm a little bit lost. So as usual, I think Sarah's gonna like read the paragraph for me, and I'm gonna reread it myself and just try to see what I can do to like make it a little bit better. I'm in a problem right now where I like want to write everything that isn't this and just kind of go through to a more exciting scene, which I could do. I don't know. I'm kind of a stickler for writing linearly. I don't know why. I think definitely this is salvageable unlike the way I had taken the chapter before, like when I had an alternate chapter 2. This definitely, I think, is the right way to go. I just didn't introduce the right threads as usual. But yeah, it's about 10 p.m. right now, so we'll see. I keep waking up really late even though I go to bed really early, so I'm trying to like get more sleep, I don't know, so that I can start my day a little bit earlier and hopefully get more writing in a little bit earlier than 10 p.m. But that's gonna be my plan for the night. Hi guys, so I just wanted to do a quick update I'm in my bathroom, so this probably sounds very echoey. I just reread my scene and I think it is fine. I edited a little bit, I added some stuff. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm just gonna move on from it because I think it's okay. And so then I'm just gonna continue drafting. But before that, I'm gonna do a quick tarot card reading. And so I'm not a pro by any means, but I got a deck of tarot cards when I was in university and I really like them and I've gotten a little bit more comfortable with how to use them. So I think I'm just gonna do a reading for this sort of writing problem that I've been having. If you saw my last vlog, you would have seen I'm sort of in a writing rut. I've sort of shed that, but I want a little bit of guidance, so I really like what the cards can do for like my intuition. Yesterday I wrote about 1,300 words or about one scene, so that was quite nice. I will probably do more writing later today, but I'm not planning on doing anything super early. I wrote a lot more than I was expecting and made a breakthrough that I also was not expecting. I'm a pantser, and so sometimes things come up and I'm like, that's why this makes more sense now. So that happened yesterday. So hopefully we can continue on this sort of upward trend and get more of the book drafted. So it has been a while since I did an update, so I wanted to say that yesterday I did do some writing. I wrote about 500, 600 words in a writing sprint. Actually was writing before, so that's the total word count, including the writing sprint that I ended up doing, and that was for Feeding Habits, which is Mothwort 2. I think it went pretty well. I just think I have to rethink what I want with the scene. I don't really know what direction I'm going, so I just have to clarify that. But I like it so far. Things have been going pretty well. I honestly haven't been doing any writing lately. I just don't care to, honestly, which is fine. Sometimes you just have to take a creative break from something. So yesterday, instead, Sarah and I binge watched every single episode of season 1 of Never Have I Ever, which is so good. If you want some brown rep and just a really funny TV show, that is so funny. But yeah, I did that all of yesterday, so I didn't really start my day until like 8 p.m., which was fine. And then I just did that little bit of drafting. When was the last time I filmed in my bathroom? It's been a while, but here we are. It's been a really long time since I filmed anything talking in this video, but this video is just sort of, I guess, recharging, and so this is what recharging looks like for me. A whole bunch of random stuff, but I am finally going to open my document, Feeding Habits. A little bit of a roadblock. My computer charger broke, and Sarah's computer charger broke in December, so we were sharing mine because I just didn't have time. I'm a university student. I didn't have time to replace it over the break, but then mine broke, and so I was out my laptop. I'm currently out of it actually right now, but I am very grateful to actually have my old computer. It's very slow, but this is a very first world problem, so I'm making it work. So I've been editing a video all day on it because it's quite slow. I don't have my editing stuff on there. It's just kind of difficult. and I don't have enough space to download a lot of stuff, and so that's been tragic to figure out. However, I made it work, and that's exporting. So I don't think my computer has enough RAM right now for me to open Word and work on the book, but the video is almost done exporting, so I think I'm just gonna make some tea and think in the meantime, and then at least reread some stuff for reading habits. Okay, update. It has been probably an hour or so. I didn't actually do what I said I was going to do, because I ended up looking at a video that I was editing, which sort of led me down a rabbit hole of where I am right now. I've been editing all day the All About My Novel video for Mothwork, and like I said, I don't have my stuff on this computer that I do on my other computer, so I'm using different software and stuff, and essentially I lost the entire video that I just made. I didn't realize that it didn't export properly. I don't think the program was very happy with my computer. I can't blame the program, it's not the program's fault. A series of unfortunate events happened, and so I'm gonna wait until I get my charger, and I'm just gonna re-edit the entire video in Premiere. The video I've been working on for about 12 hours now, literally more than 12 hours, because I've been working on it since last night, so probably about 24 hours. And anyway, it didn't end up working out, so I just have to redo the entire thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move all of the graphics. Thankfully I made all of those onto my SD card so that that'll be ready for when my charger gets here and I can just re-edit the entire thing. I'm so exhausted and a little bit upset and mentally drained right now, so I think I'm just gonna go to bed. But yeah, I didn't get to write tonight like I thought I was going to. Partly my fault. I should have just taken it slower today, but oh well, I'm just going to take it easy. Tomorrow will be a new day. Hi everybody, so it's been a long time since I actually did like a writing update for this video. So like I said, yesterday was a bit of a colossal disaster. I was working on editing a video for like 24 hours, which was a little bit sad when all of that work sort of got flushed down the drain, but that's okay. I have like a lot of the other stuff that I was making, like the text stuff, so at least I got that done. But my charger allegedly will be coming in the mail tomorrow, so that should be fine. I can edit in there. But today I actually, between Mother's Day celebration stuff, I was making a book cover for my friend Shaylin, and I made a cover for her novel Honey Vinegar. I'll pop it on the screen because I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Today I'm going to be I guess it's actually tonight. It's 9:45 p.m. I just can't do things during the day anymore. The last week has been a lie down and watch TV or whatever all day kind of a week, which has been fine, but I'm finally getting back to writing. It feels like forever, probably because it has been. I don't remember the last thing I wrote, really. I sort of do, but I'm going to reread that, and then I'm probably going to just try to finish drafting this chapter, which would be really nice, and then I can finally move on, because I feel like I've been drafting this chapter for forever, which is probably true. It's probably been like 3 weeks. So I'm just gonna give this a read, and then hopefully I can continue from there. But yeah, I'm working on feeding habits. I should probably say that. I'm at about 13,000 words in the document, which I'm kind of surprised about. There is that chapter 2 that I ended up cutting out in this chapter because I probably will keep it. If not, the document will go back to like 8,000 or 9,000 words, but we'll see. Anyway, that's my plans for tonight. Hi guys, so last night I didn't do an update because it was kind of late, but I ended up writing a few hundred words. I was actually surprised when I did my reread. I had actually finished the scene. I had thought I had ended in the middle and I had to finish it, but the scene was done. That was a nice surprise. I'm not gonna lie, I got a little bit stuck on some dialogue that I was writing. I know I just need to kind of like just continue, and this scene is almost done, which is really nice. But then I got really distracted and me and Sarah played Webkinz for an ungodly amount of time. Yeah, I've had a Webkinz account since I was 6 years old, and of course I haven't played Webkinz in a very long time. I kind of got swept down a rabbit hole a little bit and it was way too much fun. I ended up getting my charger in the mail today, which was really nice. So I'm currently re-editing the Mothwork All About My Novel video. Like I said, I had to re-edit the entire thing, except I'm almost done the rough cut and it's probably been collectively about an hour, maybe 45 minutes of editing, and I'm almost done the rough cut. It took me maybe 12 hours to do the rough cut on my other computer. I'm very grateful to have my computer back and to be able to work on it. But yeah, that's really all that's been up with me. I don't really feel like writing. Did I just finish my video edit collectively in like 2 hours for a video that took me 24 hours previously to edit? Yeah, I did. Hi everybody, so it's been quite some time since I actually did any writing in this video, and that's because I haven't been doing any writing. I have sort of taken a big hiatus off of writing just because I don't really feel like doing it. I'm more interested in other creative endeavors. I've been making book covers for the video, I think, which would have gone up before this video or will go up after this video. So I've been doing that instead and having a lot of fun like with visual art and stuff, and in some instances just not doing anything at all day. So that's kind of where I'm at. I just don't feel like writing. But I'm gonna write today because I'm kind of over it. I've been writing this chapter for a few weeks, and so I just want to actually finish it instead of having it sitting around. So I'm almost done. It's really almost there. I just have like one more scene to write. So I'm going to try to do that, and maybe Sarah and I will do some writing sprints. But I made some tea. I'm now prepared to just sit down. I find that like the only way that I can write now is like through writing sprints, because I literally will not do it if I don't have a writing sprint. That's what we're gonna do. I haven't written in a long time. The last time I wrote, I think I wrote, like I said, a bit of a scene. I was reading it today, kind of got a little bit stuck, so I just need to finish it and then move on, and then I'll come back and fix the chapter because it's been so long since I've been drafting it that I'm so over it, especially considering that the first time I was writing chapter 2 was when I was finishing my last classes of university, and now that's over. But anyway, hopefully I can make more progress. So it's been some time since my last update. We didn't actually do a writing sprint, but I did do some drafting on my own, which is probably why we didn't do a writing sprint, because right after I filmed that, I kind of just started writing and editing. I'm happy that I'm done the scene because it's taken me way too long. This chapter is really long right now, which is kind of weird. It's 5,400 words long. I never write chapters that long. I don't really love long chapters, but for some reason this chapter is very long and I'm not done yet. So I think I'm gonna move into the last scene, but I really don't know what's happening. So instead of going in blind, I'm going to read some poems. I'm going to read this book, Anatomy of an Injury, because poets use the best language. Hi everybody, so today I wanted to do an update. It is the 15th of May, which is literally so crazy because I feel like May just started. I have started making some developments with writing, and I think some people are probably going to applaud and be like, finally. I've come to the conclusion that I need to make some changes in my writing process because I really want to. Today Sarah and I were talking about sort of writing and output and stuff, and you guys all know that I'm a huge advocate for outputting whenever you want to, creating like your own process and writing whenever you want to. I want to be writing more than I am. However, I'm not making any changes in how I currently write because I haven't gotten around to it. And so now that I am in quarantine, I'm feeling great lately. I am going to start making some changes because I want a bit of a challenge. And I sort of came to this realization a few days ago. I have recently started a new workout routine that really pushes me physically. And mentally, I have to be prepared to push myself when I don't think I can do it. But I've sort of noticed that I haven't really been pushing myself in terms of my writing, which is okay. Sometimes like I don't want to be pushing myself for my writing. I just want to be writing what I want to write. And I don't think you should be pushing yourself if that's not what you need. However, I want to be writing more, and I do think I need a bit of a push. But you know that I'm not a big fan of goals. So I think I have finally created a bit of a middle ground between these things. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to word count goals. I haven't done word count goals probably since I was 15. I'm not really a big fan of word count goals. One word count goal that comes to mind is I used to run a series on my blog called Doing the Right Thing, and that goal was 250 words a day. I started that when I was about 16 in grade 11, and I kind of stopped doing it. I would update after every single writing session, but I don't do that anymore because I sort of do chapter by chapter updates now. However, that word count goal was not the greatest for me. Before then, I had sort of other ideas of what I should be writing every single day, like 1,500 words, 2,000 words. And so I wanted to give myself a bit of a break by doing 250. It wasn't really much of a challenge for me. And because of that, I knew I would probably beat the goal. And because of that, sometimes I wouldn't write, or sometimes, I would just kind of stop writing. And I don't mind the 250 word count goal, but I wanted a little bit more from that. So what I'm trying to say here is I don't really like daily word count goals. I don't think daily ones work for me very well. They might work for you, but for some reason I just don't vibe with them. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to do a weekly writing goal. I might have to push it to bi-weekly, but I feel like bi-weekly is probably too long. But weekly, hoping that I can hit a goal of about 5,000 words a week, which would mean I was producing 20,000 words a month, which is a little bit more in line with how I used to write when I was younger. With that in mind, I do write a little bit more complexly than I did when I was younger. Now I sort of really take care of prose, and prose is sort of also a part of the writing. And so it's almost like taking care of two things: plot of the book and the prose that you have to write out. So it's kind of double the work. So we'll have to see if 5,000 is too much, but I'm thinking of doing that. Last night I did some writing and I finished the chapter I was talking about at last. Chapter 2 is finally done. It's kind of nuts because I've been working on it since I was finishing my last classes. Finally, to actually get it to this point is a lot of it feels great to basically get it to this point, and it's done. And so that scene that I wrote yesterday is about 1,200 words that I wrote, and I'm really happy with it. It reminded me a lot of what I loved about writing Mothwork in the beginning. It took me a bit longer than I want to. That's because I kind of had 2 weeks where I didn't write anything. 1 week where I purposefully sort of didn't do anything, and then a second week where writing didn't just come up. And for me, it's kind of actually difficult to sort of give writing all my time because I'm sort of I don't want to say multi-talented, but I have multiple different artistic skills that I like to practice, namely visual art and music, and music has sort of been pushed to the side like writing has. So I really do focus on my visual art, and then sometimes my graphic design or video editing. I love video editing, so I spend a lot of time doing that. However, I don't really slot much time for writing anymore because I kind of have other things to do. And at this point, I do want to be writing a little bit more just because I like writing. And so I want to make a little bit more time for it. So this is me making some changes, trying to actively combat this sort of lack of writing. And I really do struggle with setting aside time because when I was in high school, at some point, I think in grade 12, probably the end of grade 11, I sort of picked up some really unhealthy study habits where I wouldn't finish my work until about 11:30 p.m. So at that point, I would be 12-hour work days, maybe 10 to 12-hour work days, and it was a bit too much for me. However, that's what I thought I had to do. And so now that I have a lot of free time, naturally my body is not feeling mentally prepared to write until about 9:30 p.m. And even then I will probably procrastinate until about 10 p.m. And I just think it's sort of this thing that's wired into me to not want to write until much later in the evening. So I'm going to try to change that a little bit. Why I like the weekly goal is that one day, or for 2 days even, I can just not write anything at all, and then one day I can write 2,000 words, and the next day I could write 100 words, and then I can sort of catch up in a sense. It's sort of I don't have a goal, but I sort of do. But it's not going to be set in stone or anything. It's not going to be a really strict thing that I'm getting myself to do, really just a thing that I hope I can do just so I can produce a little bit more, because I started Feeding Habits. This is like the fastest I've produced writing, so I can't get mad at myself in a long time. It's like the fastest. I'm at 15,000 words in that manuscript, and I started it about a month and a half ago, and that's crazy. Like, I usually don't write that much ever in such a short amount of time, so it's really good progress. I just want to be consistently writing a little bit more, because usually I will write like once every 2 weeks. Don't really know what I'm doing in terms of writing tonight. I think I could draft. What's kind of strange right now is, I think I mentioned this before, but chapter 2 has had 2 iterations. So the first iteration is the one I talked about in my last vlog with the convenience store and Grace, but I ended up having to write chapter 2 again, but different events. So just pushing the original chapter 2 later in the book. So now I'm done this chapter 2. I think I just have to sort of reweave the old chapter 2 into the book. I'm not sure if it's going to stay exactly the same. It probably will, mostly. I just probably have to cut some stuff out. I'm not really going to be adding anything, I don't think. So then after that, I sort of just skip the 4,000 words of that chapter, and then I continue writing like a chapter 4. I have a bit of an idea for the next scene, so that's exciting. But that's all for now. Hi everyone, so I wanted to do a bit of an update. Yesterday I was doing some writing. I actually can't remember if I drafted anything. I must have drafted something yesterday, because I caught up to myself with the old chapter 2, like I was saying. So I currently am sort of skimming over those events, and I have to make a few revisions, but I'll probably come back later and make those revisions. But I have basically caught up, and so now I'm going to continue writing the book. I'm at about 15,000 words in the manuscript. My dog is barking because, of course, I feel an itch to draft, but I'm not too sure what I want to do. Now I remember what I was doing yesterday. I was like, I can't remember what I wrote yesterday, but I know I wrote something. So in the old chapter 2, I ended up just adding a paragraph about what happened to stitch the new chapter 2 and the old chapter 2 together, and that worked out quite well for me. So I just have to really continue writing. I think this 5K word goal is quite good for me. I don't feel bogged down by it, and I'm also making some progress I probably won't start tracking it until Monday coming, because it'll just be easier that way. But writing's going okay, I think. It's going pretty good. I'm glad to feel like I'm in a bit of a groove right now. To be honest, I don't really know what I'm doing next, so I just have to think for a little bit, because I literally have no plans. I kind of have an idea for where they need to end up, Eliza and Lonan, but I'm not sure exactly, because we're going to be leaving the setting that I've been writing in for a while, which is Las Vegas, the apartment that Eliza and Lonan share there. But I have to leave that setting now, so it's a little bit strange. But we'll see. I think, honestly, everything makes sense. It's clicking into place now. I just need to find the bravery in me to just commit and do it.